Pretty much every stat that you look at shows that over half of the world is married. And in some parts of the world, if you're over a certain age, not dating anyone, or don't have children, well, something must be wrong with you. Who wouldn't want kids in a family? Are you okay? Do you need help? You must do what everybody else does. Well, today we have some advice for those people. No, not the people that are single and kidless, but for those that went down that traditional path and look down on the folk who have free time to travel, watch TV anytime they want to, get a full night of sleep. Yes, I know you're jealous of us. Hi, I'm Matt Hayes, and this is episode number 5 of Meet a Stranger. I like to introduce you to stranger number 5. She's a woman from Canada, over the age of 40, highly successful professional, does some amazing work around the world. I actually met her while she was on a work trip. She's not married, doesn't have kids, doesn't have a desire for a family with 2.5 kids, a dog, and a home down the street from a Target with a white picket fence. Also, why does the stereotype always have a white picket fence? Do you know anyone that actually has a white picket fence? I don't think I've actually seen a white picket fence besides those TV shows from the 1950s. Anyway, I'm in my 40s and without family and kids, but I get it. I'm a man. It's different. With women, it's always been different because of the ticking biological clock analogy. So we talked about that. Plus, I'm curious what she says to her friends that did go down more that traditional route. Take a listen. So as someone in your early 40s, not been married, don't have kids, what do you want to say to people that will look at you and ask and challenge or question your lifestyle or why you don't have kids or why you're not married? What do you really wish you could tell them?
I would tell them that I am happily undivorced. I am not bound by a biological clock, and I am somebody who is looking for someone who's going to add to my life instead of take away from it. And so far, the people that I've encountered are the ones who have been draining energy from my life. And so I would rather charge it with someone amazing, because right now it's pretty content. There's no need for the other things. I'm fortunate in that I don't have the biological clock. I don't have the desire to have children. I would welcome them into my life if they came along, but it's not something that I've ever chased. Right now, I'm in a content zone. And if I'm going to add anything to it, it's got to be good or better as opposed to worse. I'm not checking a box, and that makes me happily undivorced.
You said that if you added someone to it, someone that would improve your life. What is that? Describe that to me. What is it that would add to your life with a partner then?
It would be someone who can engage me in stimulating conversation. It would be somebody who is great at supporting me and who I would enjoy supporting right back. It would be somebody who is cool just hanging out at home, but also can be that companion on a vacation or a dinner out or whatever. It's not just having someone around for the sake of having someone around and getting into bickering fights all the time. It's someone who's going to respect each other's space. There's all of these factors, but the number one thing is I don't want to be a parent to somebody, whether it's biological children or a partner, and I see far too much of that, and I can spot some of that stuff. I don't want to be the one who's constantly supporting and not being supported back. That's a huge factor for me. I've been a fixer in a lot of my relationships, and it's exhausting. It's just like basically continuing my work at home.
As a single woman who doesn't have kids, and I'm assuming then you do have friends that are married and have kids, correct?
Yes, lots.
When you have conversations about life, about their relationships, about their family, do you have a different opinion or see their relationships differently than they might see? Being a single woman and having a different viewpoint on life and about relationships, do you notice a little bit of a clashing about how they might see, how someone who might be married and have kids in that similar boat might see the problem versus how you see those problems?
There definitely is some differences. I think I bring more objectivity as opposed to someone who's also swirling the drain at the same time. So yeah, there definitely are some different views. It's almost consultative than anything else. It's the same reason why, companies bring in an external consultant to help them see the problem that they're too stuck in their ways to see themselves. If you bring someone else in who's also stuck in their ways, maybe they'll have a best practice that they've used before, but maybe they also are seeing it through exactly the same lens. So in my world, I definitely find that a lot of those folks do come to me for advice because they sense that I have some objectivity that the other people in their world don't.
If you had to give one piece of advice then to people who are in a relationship, married, about dating that you see from your friends as someone who is single and kind of that outside person, What would you suggest to them?
Take the time to actually date. Take the time to date the person that you're with, because I watch people get stuck in a rut and in a pattern, and I think that is the beginning of the end. I can usually spot when relationships are going to break up. And if you're not investing that time in each other and actually enjoying and making an effort to actively enjoy it, you're going to get stuck in a pattern that you're going to go to autopilot mode and get very resentful of one another.
I love that advice about dating your spouse. Yes, I can hear you. Matt, you don't have kids. You don't know what it's like. But if you're always focused on keeping it afloat, you don't get to stop and enjoy what you built. Enjoy the person that you fell madly in love with and the life that you live. Saying the words, I can't, make that a reality. So what can you do to make that happen? Here's an idea. Maybe ask that single kidless friend of yours. Maybe they can see something in your blind spot that you can't. Thanks so much to stranger number 5 for the chat, and thank you for taking a minute to meet a stranger today. You can follow my adventure on all those evil social media websites at Go Meet a Stranger. Until next time, I'm Matt Hayes. Take a second and say hello to a stranger. You never know what you might learn. Onward. Pretty much every